Hey guys, welcome to your March 2023 reading. Yay! I love doing the monthly readings. Love doing the monthly readings. And they only come once a month. So anyway, it's my pleasure to do these readings for you. You guys know what's up. If you'd like to work with me personally for okay. Yeah, I was gonna give my spiel, but the guides are saying initiation. So yeah, as you guys know, we've been going through a round of initiations. The guides talked about that recently, but anyway, they're bringing it up again. If you'd like to work through that with me, you know exactly where to find me. God bless you. And now here's my regular spiel. Also, if you'd like to do any other kinds of energy healing services, whether it's etheric surgery, initiations, downloads, light codes, all that stuff, rearranging, shifting, just flat out healing, God is good. Or if you'd like to do some energy readings in terms of intuitive counseling and whatnot, you can feel free to reach out to me. I do offer live Zoom sessions. And also, mentoring, if that's where you're at, you know where to find me. God bless you. And if you just kind of want to say hi, then you also know where to find me. All right, let's jump into this reading because I actually sat down to do the moon reading and it just hit me, I'm getting information about March. So let's jump right in. I do want to talk about March. Before I even jump in with the cards and blah, 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 let's just do a quick reading on it, the energy. I'm getting mishaps. What's going on? It's interesting because March is giving me a little bit of a madness energy. And I'm like, March Madness. Maybe that's kind of somehow related. But March Madness is, I guess, a great way to put... Let me go write that down. Guys. Hold on. That might be the title. Let's see how this reading goes. March Madness. All right, thanks. March Madness. Reason why I'm saying that is because I'm getting a few energies. Now, not all of them may pertain to you, the viewer, but just to give you an idea of what's going on in this collective. I'm feeling mishaps for people. I'm feeling like missed connections. I'm getting like if someone reaches out to give somebody else a kiss on the cheek and the person who is about to receive the cheek turns to face, and so it's kind of like it's kind of like womp womp kind of energy that I'm feeling a lot of dynamism, but it feels very flaccid, to be honest. So it's almost like going and then like right. So I'm getting that. Also, I was getting this is good though, some revelations. Revelations are always great. They're not always so fun because it speaks to sobriety and seeing what is actually going on as opposed to what you hope is going on. But there's a little bit of revelation energy here. The guides are like, must be. I love how they're saying there must be. They're saying because if you're going to go through initiations, just know that's part of the game right now. I get it. Now, I do want to say, it's funny that, oh my God, I so many energies coming through. Okay. Somebody is saying here, someone's guide is saying, don't want to break some hearts, but I'm getting, miscommunication, and I gotta keep it 100 and 3 minutes, 33 seconds. There it is. I'm getting, there are going to be some sobering ideas coming out for a lot of people on their twin flame journey. Oh my God, look at this card. I mean, you guys know I just have like cards off to the side waiting, that are ready to work with us. But I'm seeing this is usually my I don't wanna card, like I don't wanna listen card. Everyone else is like, hey, we're just trying to, intervention. No. Mom, what are you doing here? And if you see somebody pull out a piece of paper, you know where this is going, Oh God. Anyway, so I'm just trying to save you the intervention 411, 4 minutes, 11 seconds on this recording so far. That ain't your twin. Okay. Wow, guys. Why? They're setting me up. Don't kill the messenger. Oh my God. Now it's interesting that they wanted to, like, the energies wanted this beautiful quartz crystal I got in Japan. Now look, when I bought it, I was like, oh my God, cute. Little twin action going on, whatever. But now when I look at it, I was like, oh shoot, it's chipped. What's going on? Parasite, 4 minutes, 44 seconds. What's going on here? Spirit is going to give a little bit of a rocky heads up. When I say rocky heads up, this is the heads up, but this isn't the rocky kind. The rocky heads up means you're going to get another awakening about something in your life, about someone, some type of connection. Does not have to be twin flame, but they are deaf shouting that out. Could be about coworkers, bosses. I'm getting sneaky energy coming to the light. Guys, shake, rattle, roll. The guides have literally been working with all of us, because when it comes time for initiations, upgrades, when major energies in any case hit your energetic field, guess what's coming up? Your stuff. And your stuff will make you feel like you're seeing demons, make you feel like you're seeing other things, until you get to a point where you're able to acknowledge what's really going on. No one wants to be thought of as a thief until it's brought to their attention that they're moving like a thief. Oh, yeah. You didn't realize you're moving like a thief. You're stealing from this person when you're giving them false impressions. You're stealing their time. Some of you are, stealing ideas. Some of you are stealing, and, we may find ways to explain it away, like, yo, what happened was, that wasn't stealing though. I was out here, I was just getting inspired. I was, whatever you want to call it. Or she had said that she wanted to hang out with me, and so I, listen, now we're just wasting time. Because especially when you go to energy readers, if they're really on the up and up, they're seeing the dynamic. We're not looking for the words stealing. Wow, I never stole a thing in my life. I'm looking at the energy dynamic that you have going on in your field. This is what we would call theft. Let's take a look at how this dynamic is manifesting in your life. You may not have a gold watch, but you have a lot of hearts that you've collected. And you've got a lot of jobs and positions you've gotten that you stole from other people, things like that. Guys, I'm getting heavy K word, karma, coming to roost in the month of March. Why? This is my birthday month. This is not fair. Okay, inner child, we're conducting some work right now. That's so funny, because I did this thinking of my inner child, and I just looked down and look. It's like, but it's my birthday. Yeah, okay. We'll come back in a few, because you good. But seriously, I was being serious, but now even more seriously, guys, welcome to 2023. Weren't the guides telling you, and weren't all these amazing astrologers that are just bombarding us on Instagram and YouTube with their knowledge, talking about how the year of 2023 is going to be lit in terms of starting to see reality? This is not the time to mess around. If you have addictions, it doesn't only have to be the substances. If you're chronic with your daydreaming, if you lie to yourself, if you live in the world of fantasy, Janelle, put your hands down. We see you. Thank you. This is not the year to mess around. But here's what I would say. I wouldn't worry if I were you guys, because if you are okay, if you're open and you're willing and you're ideologically flexible enough to say to spirit in for reals language, spirit, I'm ready. Show me me. Show me me means show me what I have been doing but have not been acknowledging. Show me how I have been being but have not been acknowledging. Show me what I have been allowing but I'm not acknowledging. Show me what I know I don't want to see and I know I've put off to the side. And shaking hands, this is when the fear comes in. Show me what I don't know that I don't know. No, it's that category. That's the category that gets you. It's what you don't know that you don't know. What? I had no idea. I didn't even know that was possible. A lot of people would love to lump in the I had no idea. I didn't, that what I was doing here in this connection, Jay, actually, I would put that in. I didn't know that I didn't know. No, you can't be out here with energy readers and say those things, because we're seeing it right here in the topmost layer of your energy field that you knew what you were doing. You chose not to look at it. Now, the why is, well, that's the subject of a personal reading, but it could be very understandable reasons. Maybe you're still carrying trauma, and so a part of you doesn't want to see. because, it dredges up other stuff, right? Okay, we get it. Part of you, it could not even be a trauma thing. It could be you just want what you want. Yeah, he's married and he has 6 kids, but you want what you want. And so you're going to allow yourself to buy into the stories that either this person is telling you or you're telling yourself, yeah, well, if he loved her, he would have, or if she were a good, then she, no, we're not here for that in my birthday month, but also in the year 2023. Now, you could be here for it. I mean, we're all here for certain things at certain times. God is good. But I'm just saying, as your friendly local reader who gives hugs all the time and likes cookies and hot beverages, this is not the energy to be playing around with, right? So I'm just saying, in this month, get it together. We're going to be taking a look at the many faces of ourselves. Just as I said, the many faces of ourselves. Look at this face, wisdom. This face, awe, and this face, right? This is about understanding why it is that we allow ourselves to get into certain ways of thinking. Why do we choose to allow ourselves to deny things? Now, notice I'm very heavy, 11 minutes, 11 seconds on the words choosing and choice whenever I come through my readings. And I only want you to know, it's not because I am disregarding the humanity of emotions and the reality of real pain and people hurting and people dying and people being abused and all of this. This is not the case. The thing is, if we all stayed at that level of awareness, just as I say that, look what's down here, fragmentation. If we all stayed at that level of awareness, we would all be giving ourselves excuses and other people excuses for things, and we would be just staying at the bottom of the barrel. This is not to be staying in our victim story and to be martyrs and to have low confidence and and poverty consciousness and all this. This is no. You need somebody in your life to be like, hey, there is a higher octave. Where are you? Let's see how we can get higher. Now, speaking of, look, these cards are just shuffling themselves. Look at this. Illusion and clarity. Whoa, what's this? Prayers, speak on it. Okay. Spirit has been hearing prayers, and you may not have gotten on your hands and knees recently, but the world is praying. People off planet are praying for us, right? For all of us. And people who are here are and going through stuff, they're issuing unspoken prayers. Every time they can't pay their bills, there's an unspoken prayer that goes up asking for assistance. So you have to understand, this is the answer, they're saying, to your prayers. The answers, look at this projection. Yep. Healing. Come on, guys. It's the same thing. Projection, illusion, healing, clarity. The answer to your prayers is to get clear. Take a look at how you, there are 2 cards. Look at how you are shortchanging yourself. What are you doing in your life that signs you up for instant gratification as opposed to putting in the real work? You'll know because you'll see a trail of tower moments in your life. Tower moments are taps on the shoulders. Right? Now, you want a tower moment. It doesn't even have to be a tap. You could get a sense like, oh, someone's behind me. Oh, I didn't see you there, right? What's going on? And then you pay attention. Or you can get a tap on the shoulder. Look at this. He's like, doop, doop, doop. Tap on the shoulder. Oh, coming to your friendly local reader. That's right, guys. Come see me. If you've had readings with me, you know we get into the nitty gritty. We don't have time to waste. We get in those details. So you cannot walk away saying, you can't use the ignorance excuse. I didn't know anymore. But you can get the tap on the shoulder where it's kind, it's sweet, and or something's brought to your attention through the TV show you're watching. Because remember, you can have these clearings and these healings in conjunction with God. You don't ever have to shed out any money anywhere, right? It's just that when you're working with people who can help you in those moments, it can be faster, and then you can be a little bit more objective about it because you're outside of yourself. Or you can wait for really those hard tower moments that maybe, jack up your clavicle a bit or your scapula, because all the other things didn't work. So the whole point here is to get us all to be aware that we're working with issues with how we see our paradigm. There's a reader, not a reader, there's her I don't know what to call her, but anyway, her channel on YouTube is called The Alchemist, I know you're like, oh, the book? No, not the book. Just make sure you go. It's actually her channel name, The Alchemist. And she does a lot of esoteric work and whatnot. And so sometimes, so the way that I learn with my guides, because my guides teach me things and such, they send me places. So please know that whenever I endorse somebody, know what it is, know that we're all ideologically flexible. And so there are times when I feel like guided or called to go and check out her work, for example, and then other times I'm not there at all. So please know that this is what I'm just saying. I'm just giving you her channel. You can go check it out if there's something there for you. But I like how she calls this paradigm blindness. Okay, you can go and look up that video. The whole point is, Spirit is saying we live in a state of paradigm blindness. And so obviously we kind of know that. The whole point is to get out of a place of unconsciousness where you're just not paying attention to what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it. And we have so many wonderful people who are here on this planet to help us. Of course, we have some soulmates, people that are placed in our chart, in our lives to help us out. We have wonderful licensed therapists, a lot of medical professionals. We've got great people in the cloth, as with all people, including readers on YouTube and anywhere else you see. You must use your own discernment. So please remember that you're working with your spirit team. You guys are the team, right? And so you ask with your spirit team, guides, can you please help me to, learn and open my eyes to, please, in a way that you know is good for me and that's gentle and informative and authoritative, because learning doesn't have to hurt. It only hurts because we don't pay attention. And that's because a lot of people aren't honed energetically to hear and to see and to understand the energy as it's being presented. And plus their desires, informed by their conditioning and mainstream media attachments and stuff, override the subtleties and the sentiments of the energies that are actually good for them. So ask your guides to assist you in bringing great resources to you. And if they send you to, bus stops just so you can see like a message on the side of the bus, then please know that that's coming from them, right? You don't have to shell out thousands of dollars all the time. So if you're one of those people who cites money as the reason why you haven't gotten yourself together, you haven't worked through things, you haven't looked at things, I just want to, let you know that's just not true. It's not true. It's plain not true. And I would invite you to look at how you choose to look at what's going on in your life. How open are you to seeing where your missteps are? As the guides talked about in today's daily channel message on Instagram and YouTube. So make sure you check those out. They really give some good stuff. But anyway, as they talked about, was it today or maybe today or yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Everybody wants to tell their victim story. Everyone wants to see themselves as a victim, and we do go through things, and this is important, and you must tell your story because it needs to be witnessed. The energy has to be seen, and you have to feel corroborated on some level and felt on some level to have that emotional release, right? It's called having your pain witnessed. But the problem is a lot of people are in their life, throughout their life, they're willing to see themselves as victims, but they're unwilling to note where they have perpetrated certain things against other people. Everybody has been a perpetrator many times in this lifetime, and don't even let us go into past lifetimes, although we do past lifetimes on our channel, God bless, on our Etsy page. But don't even, right? Because if you spot it, you got it. That's right. I think it was yesterday the guides talked about glass houses. Put the stones down. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. You might be surprised because glass houses are, glass. You can't see it. You don't think you're in one. Especially if you can't even remember what you were doing at age 3. The court of law here doesn't even admit, someone's memory it's flawed. Anyway, so in the month of March, please just be ready and be open to be seeing what it is that you could be doing better. Confirmation. I'm getting to some of you have already been on this path. Now, it's true. And when I say on this path, I mean like recently the guides have been conducting a life review. I've noticed that the guides conduct life reviews for us quite often. We always hear about this life review, and for those who don't know what it is, the term life review is often used to refer to a process that your spirit goes through after it transitions to the other side. So after you pass away, God bless, and you received, God bless, lovingly onto the other side, which you are. Of course, you're going to have a party. Some souls like to party it up with all the others who are waiting because they know when you're crossing, right? Or some, I've heard that some, especially the old souls, like to just go straight to the life review, like, look, let me know what's up. I don't know. And then some obviously may need to have etheric medical services first before, and that's for another video, I guess. It's not important here, but the point I'm trying to make is we all think about that moment when we have the life review and we're sitting there and our lifetime is played before us, and we're shown all, and I say all, I mean all. I hear it's for reals all. Every scene in our life played back to us through a movie, and of course your brain's all improved by then, so you can totally take it. And it hurts at times because you see missed opportunities for love. You see where you're fully in your ego. You see these moments, as I'm saying, watch these moments when you're like, I said what I said, or I'm in my main character energy, or I'm speaking up, and it's all great. And yes, there's a time and place, but just watch for the egoic parts of those things, because they're so ripe for the ego to slip in. If you're not coming from the heart and really being resolution minded, then it's a slippery slope. We see that in the boardrooms. When you're talking about conflict resolution, one of the things you have to consider is the difference in your energy. When you go into having a conversation, are you focused on creating a solution, co-creating a solution with this person, or are you more interested in getting your point across and making sure that they realize it and recognize for the future, right? And sometimes people aren't aware of that distinction. And I'm just saying, so just be mindful. A lot of times these types of energies that burst forward from us, we want to lump it in with personality, but sometimes it's just a conditioned response. It's an attempt to step into empowerment and self-empowerment after being conditioned out of it. So a lot of times people who don't feel like they've ever been seen, they're doing all kinds of stuff to be seen. People who didn't feel like they were heard growing up, you get it, right? And so just be mindful about those things. If you care, if you care. But so they've been doing some life reviews recently, and ouch, guys, I just gotta tell you, it's hard. And I've been saying to the guides, okay, I'm ready, show me. And it's not a mean thing, it's not a negative thing, it's your besties. These are the beings that know you. They've been with you multiple lifetimes. You didn't just come down on this one lifetime like, hey, I'm here. No, it's like there's a plan. There is a plan. If you plan to go out of town on a trip, you don't think that we're going to plan to come down onto the Earth's plane. So they are working with us, and they're showing us points of confusion is what they're saying. There are many points of confusion. And I will tell you, even among readers, and this is to be expected because we're all doing our best from our respective places of understanding, and that's why it's important to be as ideologically flexible as possible. And when the guides say being ideologically flexible, what they mean is, yes, have a belief of the moment, be aware of what you're believing, have conscious awareness of what's going on, right? But allow yourself to have the grace and the mercy and the desire to be shown something better at any point, and to be able to give yourself the leeway to get out of these beliefs that you're currently carrying. Remember, belief creates energetic structures. And so if you're very strong and firm and solid in your beliefs, that's all well and great. But if your beliefs are not based on love or are flawed, guess what now? You're stuck in a mindset that is just going to be limiting for you. And then you're going to avoid doing what nature does, which is naturally evolving, naturally changing, and naturally growing in beauty, God bless, right? 24 minutes, 44 seconds, because you're stuck in what you want to believe to be true. And that is completely understandable in many ways because it's tied into how humanity approaches physicality. We want to be sure that we're safe, so we make sure that we keep the same friends all the time. We want to be sure that we are managing ourselves, so we keep routines, right? So there are different ways where this energy dynamic of being within a strong structure manifests in our life and way it expresses in our life. But be mindful, because these are structures and you will be kept within your structure. Sometimes we call it narrow-mindedness. Sometimes we call it bigotry, right? Prejudice. All of these energies, this structure can easily flow into these types of words. Of course, these types of words have their own nuance, and depending on who's applying the label, you got to look at what's going on with them and their wounding, right? But the point is, they all relate to an energetic firmness that doesn't, a closed-mindedness is another, that's the kindest one, closed-minded, right? But they all refer to an energetic state of being where the structures are too strong, that you don't allow yourself to grow because you are stuck there. Now, again, going into the reasons, there are many understandable reasons why people formulate, notice formulate, because we're creating it, formulate these types of structures. It could be trauma, so now they have a fear response, and of course they're trying to self-protect. Makes total sense. If your structures are strong, then that's your protection. Right? But these are also the same people that can't let love in. They end up becoming bitter. They fester inside because nothing's coming in and out. Where's the light? Where's the energy, right? And so if you haven't taken a moment recently to look at how ideologically flexible you are, please consider that. Now, a quick practical application, an example of that is, let's say you share space with other people, whether it's your family or your coworkers is another one, right? You live in the same place, whatever. Especially if you're a hermit or introvert, you like things done a certain way, control, right? Be mindful, because let's say you come downstairs in the work, you come into the break room at work. Let's go to work. Yeah, we're at work. You come into the break room at work, and all of a sudden you see somebody has cut half of the donuts. Someone took half a donut. If you are having a donut, HALVING, maybe you shouldn't be having a donut, HAVING. Just saying. Love you. But anyway, here we are. So maybe it sends you places when you see that. You're like, hey. And now you're angry. Like, let's just go blow the whistle. Your guides are like, you're like, no, I don't wanna. Did you see what they did? They butchered that donut. At least have the decency to take the other half to your desk and eat it on another day. Oh, you just want to cut it up, right? What if I wanted that donut, right? And it just goes on, and your guides are like, hey, snap out of it. Like the little spray bottles in your face. You're like, huh? Oh, sorry guys, I don't know where I was for a second there. They're like, we'll tell you where you were. You were out of your body. You were dissociating. You were launching into your gut reactions. You are in reaction mode, and we want you to stop. You're like, okay, I'm listening. And they're like, all right, take a look. You walked in. I walked in. I was hungry. I wanted a donut. I heard there were donuts. Yeah, you walked in and you saw the donut box. You got happy, sure did. And then you saw that half donut and you lost it. This is a donut. What's the problem? And then you're like, well, and you may launch into the story, and then they're going to be instructive, and they're going to be like, hey, hold on a second. We get it. But first of all, these donuts are free to you. Number one. Number two, you're at work. You want to eat, bring your stuff. You're in a communal space, which means you're not entitled to have certain things because it's for the sharing of others. If you don't like the donut culture in your kitchen, then guess where you should avoid going? The kitchen. Because the kitchen doesn't, hold on, hello, the kitchen doesn't belong to you. You're like, you might have to walk it off a bit, walk it off with your hands on your hips. They're watching you walk it off. All right, okay, I see. I was doing a bit much. I was extending. They're like, yeah, you were reaching for something that's not yours. Our question is why you came for a fun, sweet, sugary, exciting thing, and then you started waging war in a space that was peaceful before you came in. A Course in Miracles, before you talk, they're so cute. They pinch your lips. Gently, of course. Ding. Before you talk, A Course in Miracles teaches that when you see attack, it is because you're attacking the world. But how is this my fault? You came in guns blazing. No, I didn't. I came in expecting to see something, like someone said there were donuts. I didn't expect to see a butcher donut. It's not a butcher donut. Look at it for what it is. You need to change your definition of how you're seeing this. You came in for a free snack on your break. You saw the box that's designed for everybody. Nobody has claimed any donuts. Somebody had the courtesy of not taking a full donut and wasting it. Is it a crime for someone to only want half? They have their reasons. Can you just close your eye and not see that one donut? Because all you're doing now is you're creating problems in your body. You're creating blockages. You're feeding a conditioned, programmed ideology that's inside that puts you in a place of control. You're trying to exert your control over this environment, and it's not your environment. So as the guides start telling you and showing you your definition problems, showing your entitlement, showing you your hubris at times, showing you arrogance, showing you your attempt to control, how can you, 31 minutes, 31 seconds, by the way, you have to stop and be like, holy crap. What was I on? My bad. Yeah. You know what that energy is like? That's like an energy, the energy of a pit bull. When it just snaps. It snaps. For what reason? We don't know. We got to ask Cesar Milan, right? God knows. I love Cesar Milan. Oh my God. But you're not a pit bull. So why are you snapping like this? This is rage going on inside of you. So in the month of March, please, please, please watch for these energies. The guides are continuing with the life review for you so that you can see what's going on underneath your hood. What are your beliefs that are leading you to react in certain ways? And I'm scared. And that was one where someone goes from 0 to 60, 0 to 30 sometimes, because depending on how they express their anger, they may never even say anything, or they may leave a passive aggressive note, or they may just go out and start shouting, or they may go and sulk the rest of the day. So somebody asks, what's wrong? And then they could be like, well, I'm sorry, Cancer placements, I love you, but you got to stop with that. I know I have Cancer North Node, but whatever, okay? I am steering clear of that activity. So watch those energies. Okay, what else are the guides saying? Wow, what a month. Okay, March Madness. So watching your behaviors, watching those shadows as they come out, being open to seeing how you are. Yeah, so that's an example of going from 0 to 30 or 0 to 60 for some people in maybe rage. But what about those who go from 0 to 30 or 0 to 60 in their martyrdom energies or their victim energies? All of a sudden, I just can't stand working here. Everybody's always leaving me nothing. Every time I come in, my schedule's horrible, that I'm always the last one to get donuts, and like, oh my God. Entitlement, storytelling, disempowerment. If you want a donut that badly and you realize you're not able to make it on time because the schedule you have doesn't permit, guess what? Say something about it in an objective, clear way that's solution-oriented, or get your own donuts, or ask a friend to pop one for you, or, right? We see this energy with people also when they're like, oh, I didn't get a donut. Oh, but I saw Sharon took like one for her. She took two. And yeah, okay, maybe she took one for herself and for Janice, who was in a meeting. And Janice like went about it in a proper way. Oh, but we can't be reserving donuts like that. Okay. What are we doing, right? So anyway, shadows. shadows. Now, energies are in the shadow because, why? Because we don't want to own them. Because sometimes, to be honest and to be fair, we don't know they're there. we've always just kind of been being a certain way, especially if we've been conditioned that way, or we came into this lifetime with those energies, right, already going on. We don't realize it. Sometimes we're being a certain way and we don't even realize the effect that it's having on others, let alone the effect that it's actually having on ourselves. And that's why it's really important to cater to sobriety. And when I say sobriety, we're in the realm of energy right now. The guides are saying clear mind, clear perception. How can we get there if we don't have clear heart, when we don't have clear desires? Now, I understand that these things are a little bit hard to just do. And listen, we're not out here just doing. We spend lifetimes practicing this. This is always about practice. The guides have never asked for perfection. That's us, okay? They are asking for progress. And in order to get to progress, you start with awareness. First, there is the awareness that you're not aware. Oh, shoot. That's why they say the first step to healing is to admit you have a problem. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize that I didn't. Do I do that, really? Oh my God, I didn't know that. Are you sure? Are you sure? Oh, you're just jealous. Why would you say that? I do? Do I do that? Yeah, you're not aware, right? Or maybe this is a very common one. Maybe your guy, I don't know why this happens, but sometimes women call guys cowards. Well, actually, I do know why that happens, but I'm just saying I don't know why it just always is women call men cowards and it's not usually the opposite. But anyway, it's often a guy will be like, and she called me a coward. How could she call me a coward? I've been nothing but brave and, blah, blah. And sometimes we get sent by something somebody calls us. Now, we don't always want to just listen to what someone calls us all the time, but we do want to be objective and say, where is that coming from? Something moved within that person so much for them to find those words and to express them to me and to do so in this way. Why? And you're not here to, crucify them. You're not here to hurt them. You're not here to malign them. You're not even here to really particularly dissect them. You're here to own what's yours. And so you're going to look at what's going on with them so that you can pinpoint where you probably could have used some different ideas, some different beliefs, some different actions, some different expressions of your energy, which are actions. But expressions of energy are not always physical. If you know, you know. You could totally have had a conversation, peaceful one, with somebody and come out feeling like you were shoved in the chest. That's because guess what? Energetically, that's what they were doing. Okay? So we have to be aware. I do want to give a quick story time of an old coworker that I used to work with. God bless, God bless, God bless, love. I was having a conversation with this person who, on our break time, and this person had a bad day in the classroom. And she was so angry recounting this story to me that I didn't know, I didn't follow energy stuff and all that. I didn't get fully activated and all of that at that time. I was just teaching. And now looking back, I know what happened. What happened is a part of her energy flew off as a shard. And oh, look, see? Yeah, good confirmation. Because I'm always like, am I doing too much storytelling or talking? And they're like, no, okay. Yeah, flew off just like that and pierced me right in the heart. Like if you take not in the heart, like your physical heart, but my chakra, so it's in the middle of my chest. Boom, just like that. And I remember recoiling and then I didn't know what it was, but I knew something entered like this. Yes, something not that big. Oh my God, I'd be like, cardiac arrest. But it was probably about half. It was because I could see it. Now I could see it. It's black. It was about this size and pointed, and it was like a little arrowhead, and we whittle, and it pierced me right in the heart, and it took me hours to get that energy out. So you see, that is a person who carries a lot of rage, number one, and number two, they don't understand how to express their anger, and they attack. And so even though she was telling me about a story that was completely unrelated to me, and you know me, I'm here listening, I'm here for it, God bless. I like to listen. I was caught in it. And so that's like a vector just sent, right? So what that does is that creates holes in your energetic field. And I was not very good at shielding up, guys. Too nice. I'm sorry, I have a stellium in Libra. Give me a break. But yeah, so that's why number one, shielding is important. But number two, you have to be aware of how you're using your energy. So this year, 2023, is not a year of sobriety in the sense of getting clear about who's doing what to you. Although right now, I have to be honest, this is part of what we're doing. We're having revelations about the people in our lives. We're being shown rather, who and what is showing up in our life in what way. And of course, Spirit has been talking about nuanced discernment. Discernment, yeah, we get it. Oh, good, bad. Okay, we're not there anymore. We're moving into nuanced energies. Oh, kind person who's having an off day. Okay. Person who's usually even keeled, very confused today, doesn't want to talk. Okay. That shouldn't trigger my abandonment issues, my attachment issues, and now put me into my conditioned rage and see and project things onto this person who's just having a rough day. Instead, switch, right? Oh, hey, what's going on? I just saw 41 minutes, 11 seconds, 411. Find out what's going on. Hey, what's going on? I noticed that, you seem a little bit down. Is there anything going on? Is there something I can help with? Maybe they may be like, no, I don't want to talk. And maybe they really can't. And you're like, all right, I get it. Well, listen, if there's anything, you know where to find me. And then maybe you can do something nice for them and respect their privacy, right? So it's important that we realize, now let's zoom out. We realize 41 minutes, 41 seconds, that what Spirit is trying to do in the year 2023 is to reveal to you who you are being, what you are doing, what you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're believing, and what others in your field are doing as well. This is high level discernment. In order to become a really great discerner, yay, I made that word up, discerner, unless it is a word, you must be aware of what your stuff is. What do you usually get triggered by? What are your triggers? What are your shadows? Ooh, let me go ahead and give a little shout out. Speaking of using those words, yeah. Remember our girl Lynette, I ordered these cards from her, yeah. And I just love them so much. But our girl Lynette over at Total Designs. Oh wait, I should know this. Oh my God, hold on, guys. I'm so bad. Ugh, I barely market it for myself. Give me a break. One second. Total Divine, right? I think that's what it is. No Divine Product. There we go. Yes, there it is. Sorry, Lynette, if you see this, I don't know, love you. Her Etsy page is called Total Divine Products, right? And I'm blanking for the life of me on her Instagram page, but it might be something like Total Divine 2021. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, so she has a really great deck. Oh, there, triggers deck, right? Triggers deck. She's got a shadow deck, all of these. So if you're somebody who likes to check in with yourself and whatnot, check out her cards. Those are just two of many. But the whole point, like I was saying, is the guides want you to start becoming aware of what's going on in your field. Once you know thyself, then you're better able to discern what's going on outside of you. When you own your shadows, oh, I just realized I like to control the space. Why? Because I'm actually afraid of being controlled. Because the last time I was controlled, blah, 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 blah. And I'm afraid that right? When you're aware of that, then when you see someone else coming in, into your space, you can identify how they're handling the energy. Are they trying to control you? Are they also acting out of fear? Are you doing too much and it's not even about control with them at all, right? So this is the thing. And when you start to become more aware / conscious, you start to note what your reactions are. And then you realize, I don't want to react. I don't want to be a nuclear reactor out here. I'm trying to be someone who responds, someone who notes, considers, reflects, and then, yeah, maybe even strategizes for if that's where you're at, and then responds. That's conscious action. It's mindfulness. So that's the whole point. You can move from reacting to responding. And when you do that, you start to choose how you want to show up in this world. You start to clear energy really quickly. And now you stop the boulder from going downhill where you're just gathering up karma because you're just acting mindlessly in the space. And now you're in a better position to see the needs of others. And it's no longer just your needs and me, right? Everything shouldn't be about you all the time. And a lot of us do make it about us all the time. And it's because we don't realize that we never had our needs met. And we haven't done anything really to remedy that from an adult standpoint. So this is also going to be a year where people are matured beyond their wounds. Because when you have a wound go on in your life, what happens is a part of you splits to a certain degree, fragments to a certain degree, and that cute little part of you that's wounded remains at the same age and consciousness as when the wound occurred. And so that is why when I do work with clients, God bless, when we do soul integration, we are very much having conversations with these different parts of them. And if you're tired of reverting to an 8-year-old whenever you go into your boss's office, no matter how hard you try, then, it's time to start looking at the inner part of you that is feeling this way. Okay? Because there really are 8. Just as I said that, I looked down and they're like, hi, we see you, right? It's really a thing, guys. Trust me. Look at this arrow. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's March. March is wake up call. It's wake up and see what you're doing. It's also, let's shift gears a bit. March is also a month, and I'm glad, thanks you guys reminding me about this. March is also going to be a month where we are, it's interesting because I don't usually see this, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. It was never brought to my attention. But now I'm seeing March going into the month of April, but I don't think it's going to be allowed to go too far into the month of April, because remember, we do have some governing bodies outside of us, but in the non-physical, but I'm seeing that there's going to be a lot of us moving, they're saying, in lockstep to different tunes. That's interesting, because let me explain this energy a bit. When we think about the ocean, right? A lot of times we're like, oh, the water is going there. Yay. There. But when you really go out into the open seas, you realize things are sloshing against each other. It's like, right? Things are moving in their own way. And if you look at a map, like a map of the oceans where they're showing the currents and all that, you're seeing cute little whirls in different direction. You're like, wait a minute, who's doing what? Right? And so it's kind of that energy. I'm getting that we are going to be moving. We're going to be allowed to move in our own ways. And the reason why 48 minutes, 48 seconds, the guides are saying, is so that you can reveal to yourself how you move. It's like they're stepping back a bit, and they're like, all right, well, we'll give you this month. Do what you would wish. It's so cute. Imagine being a cute little kid ballerina. Fine. Bing. Yes. She's like, yeah. A little kid ballerina with her tutu, and the guys are like, go on in the room, and you can do whatever. And they put on some music, and then what is she gonna do? I don't know. Whatever she does. Some may twirl, some may start just leaping, some may lie down, some may totally mistake ballet and yoga and start doing yoga positions they saw their older sister doing. Like, I don't know. It's cute, right? But some may just stand there and play with their skirt and they're singing a song. You know, we know that's how kids are, right? So the whole point of allowing us, and when I say allowing, it's not an authoritative thing. It's like we're going to allow you to muck around a bit, to experience how you're really moving, and we're not going to interfere. But we're not going to, but when they say they're not going to allow it to go too much into April, because let's say you're twirling because they said go ahead and do it, but if it's once April comes, you may twirl too much, boom, and fall over and hit your head, and now we have a concussion, or like, right? So they're saying it's just for this time. It's a nice little controlled setting so you can see what it is that you're doing, how it is that you're doing. I'm getting that they're going to give you this free reign, for reals free reign, in one area of your life. And it's a test kitchen. So I'm not sure which area you have decided to have that in, if it's your career, if it's your love. Let me see if I can pull up. Oh, for some of you, it could be a creative project. Wow. I'm getting nails for somebody. I don't know why nails are being featured. That's could be just to show you. I'm getting an eye for somebody. What else? I'm seeing a rainbow that's placed too far up in the trees, so I want to reach for it and pull it down. That's for somebody. I mean, I'm getting doctor for somebody. I don't know how these play in, but the guides they're just throwing out words, and they will let you, for the loved ones. You're the loved one, right? I'm seeing pebbles. I heard pebbles. It could be anything, but it reminds me of pebbles and bam bam, but pebbles, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be pebbles on a floor or ground or something. I got Egypt there. There are quite a few callings. Okay, we're switching. There are quite a few callings now, they're saying. So they're saying, as some of you are kind of, they're saying dawdling around. That's so cute. Why did I say it like that? Dawdling around, Dawdling. While some of you are dawdling around, they're like, while you're doing that in your room, right? Little ballet, whatever. They're bringing in a new set of recruits. This is going to be another 6 months. So yeah, so you guys remember that it was, I think, November and December, I was telling you that the guys were saying in January a whole bunch of lights are going to be turning on. What does that mean? What did they mean? They meant a lot of people would be stepping into their soul contracts for service. Hi, awakening all you light workers. That's my niche. That's my niche, right? I've almost heard that's my niece. So for somebody, your niece is in this group, by the way. So anyway, so these energies, they're coming in, and so some of you may be new to this channel, or some of you are not new. Hi to both groups. But you may be taking on more active roles, you may be doing more things, you may be starting your research, all sorts of stuff. But what it looks like from this this opinion here, this level, my opinion, is that it looks like a lot of you guys are receiving welcome packages. Cute, right? It feels a little bit like welcome, and I'm so glad that you are here. I hope that you found parking well, so go ahead and open up your orientation, thank you. Now they're also saying that some of you hold very high positions on the other side, okay? When I say that, I mean exactly that, okay? And I'm always one to say, guys, watch the ego when we hear things like chosen ones and initiations and high positions. But your girl does have to repeat what your girl hears. And when I'm being objective about those kinds of egoic things, just trust that I'm doing my best to bring the information through in as objective a way. So that being said, some of you who are coming in now, and yes, of course, some of you who are already active and you're in your own stage of doing whatever the guides have you doing, you're like, they have the door closed, excuse us. You have very high positions on the other side. I hear glow orb for somebody. That's for glow orb. Angels? I don't know. It's possible, right? They say beware, guys. You entertain angels unawares, and let me tell you that's true. And I'll leave it at that. Some of you know who you are, and so what else? Of course, record keepers, right? Record keepers are another group. Historians, of course. The guides talked about time watchers recently. I'm not getting so much so that there's any time. Sorry, let me feel into the group here. Time people, any time people, right? So, yeah, well, thank you. They're also saying, and I don't know, okay, this is me just purely channeling what I got. I'm not going to put my conscious mind in it, but they're saying the overlords are watching. I don't know what that means, but if you think you know what that means, I would say great. But I would also pause you, 55 minutes, 22 seconds, to watch what makes you think you know what that means. Is it because you watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos? Is it because you you had a dream? Is it because you were in your ego and you thought? Is it because you have kind of programming and you know, look to see why you think you know what you think you know. Because at the end of the day, spirit works. We all may think, oh yeah, it's like on Earth, like the military and stuff. They want to work with only people who have brass and they this, or it's like the schools. They want people who've published and people who've shown this and that. Spirit moves differently. They look for the heart first. If you're working with the correct groups, the correct people, heart first. Heart first. The heart is something you have to cultivate, right? Because we're in the land of delusion. We're in the land of illusion. You've already come down to a certain frequency. So you are compromised. And so the way, it's like if you're in a jungle somewhere and you're cut off from your people in the helicopter and you can't see, they can't see you because they can't see through the trees. What are you going to do? You have to move with your instincts, right? But don't forget your training just because you see certain things in the physical world. No, down here, you're compromised, but there are ways to still walk a fine path. And the first thing you need to do is get in touch with the heart. That should be book 1, like chapter 1. What's this heart we keep hearing about? How do I know I'm in my heart, and how do I know when I'm not? The guides have talked about learning ideological flexibility so that you can move in and out as you go. They've talked about your virtues. Gratitude is a big one. The guides just said dementia. Okay, yeah, sometimes right down here, God knows. Okay, depression is another one they're saying watch for. Yeah, dementia, depression. We're moving around with these energies, right? We don't realize it. But the virtues, generosity, kindness, compassion, temperance, these things, you have to practice them. Now, when I say practice, don't just be like, oh, I donated, I'm kind. Or, oh, I said I'd wait, I'm patient. No, these are energies that you practice over lifetimes, right? Because what is patient in one situation is not patient in another. What's mercy in one situation is not mercy in another. So we're constantly balancing. And if you have an overblown ego, you're more likely to see yourself as being kind than being unkind. So you have to watch your shadows, your energy. So you always want to make sure that you're coming from as clear a place as possible. Self-love. Otherwise you will be over generous, and that's not actual generosity. Now you're in Shadowville. And it's stemming from your lack of deservability and your energy of low self-worth. And so you give all your stuff away, right? So this is why it's important that when you're working and practicing with your virtues, that you are always working with the divine heart. You're always asking for assistance in maintaining that balance. Another thing the guide said, in order to move forward as properly as you can, is to watch your vices. Vices, vices, vices. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. I had to go online like, what are the vices? The 7 deadly sins is a good start, pride, vanity. Oh, guys, we don't want to go into vanity, yo. I don't even, let's not. Let's go. Jay, don't go there. I know. Pride is another one. Oof, they've been hitting me with that one. So um, these are things we have to look at. Now, we may be like, but we're not moving with those energies, but these energies are insidious. You don't think you are, especially if you're conditioned in a culture, in a society, to see these things as normalized and as even coveted, as valorized, as preferred, as desired traits. Guess what? Yeah, you really need to wake up, because you are going along with the wrong ideals in order to... Let's talk about that. The guides are saying, the saying that a rose by any name is just as sweet. The guides are saying, be careful with that. For example, a lot of people may walk around calling themselves angels. For example, we're just hitting an example here, and not realize they're in the dark. Do you see what I mean? And sometimes, it's a matter of needing to tweak the energies. So they also need to constantly tweak themselves. Everybody does down here. We're in the trenches, right? Energetically speaking. It's not enough to be so stuck in any one mindset. If you are so clinging to this idea of being an angel, what if God or whoever or somebody said you're actually not? You're just blah, blah, blah. How does your ego take it? That's a nice check and balance. Ideally, you want to be like, oh, okay, well, I thought I was, but to be honest, I actually really don't know. But I guess it actually doesn't matter, because I'm focused on creating something. And if I have to move without any monikers at all, then that's where I'm at. It would be nice, but you know what? Let me just focus on this. So don't get caught up in labels. We see already how labels has people confused in society. And it's because people are coming from wounds, right? And when we're coming from wounds and they're projected, then we try to control outside without looking at how we can soothe and heal and calm inside. So the reason why the guides are really talking to you guys about some of these things right now at this tail end of this video is because orientation, hello. But also they're saying that if you want to be part of something greater than yourself, and we say this without ego, they're saying, and you want to be part of a challenge. What's the challenge? That's when you ask, let the divine assign me to the challenge. You can look and see places to dive in, yes, but when you're moving by yourself, then you're literally moving by yourself. So find a way to align with spirit. What is your process? You don't have to be out here shaking rattles and doing all these things. You can. Those are beautiful things, and there are ways to express the energy. There are ways to amplify. There are ways. But you have been born in a body, okay? And you can accomplish great spiritual feats in your body. If you want to see a map of eternity, hone the sight and then look at your palms. You have it all, right? So the point is, that should help you to know that when you're working for spirit and you're really working for something higher, you release the ego, because you see it's mindless, number one. It's unnecessary, number two. And really, it's about asking, how can I be moved in order to best serve others, knowing that as I serve others, I serve myself? And how can I heal myself in the best way, in alignment with spirit? Because I know that when I heal myself, I'm also serving others. So you see, it's this give and take. And great masters a lot of them walk in silence. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to show this. They don't have to do that. They don't need it, because they know what they have inside. And what do they have inside? It's the heart. Okay? 1 hour, 4 minutes and 44 seconds. It's the heart. If the heart is rotten, I don't care what your name is. I mean, not your name, but what you call yourself. Who you say you work with. What your ancestors are doing. Which alien or ET races you're working with, and who you're channeling, and like, we have to release all of that, because the gateway is the heart. If the heart is not there, what are we doing? So Spirit, the guides were talking recently about, maybe back in January, about needing to cultivate the heart by paying attention to the pillars of love. I love that. I love saying that. The virtues. Practice your virtues. Now, it feels like, sometimes I feel like they're taking it old school. I was like, guys, you mean what? Virtues and vices, and like, what is going on here? And just, it's energy. It's energy. If your ego is out of control, and for example, and you, because we're talking to those of you who are signed up for service right now. Oh, this group too. We're all here. We're all here. If you're signing up for service, yes, you have to make a living, yes. But you best believe there are going to be moments thrown into your work where Spirit is going to check to see. And they won't tell you when. Sometimes they don't even tell me. They're just like, oh, that was a test. And I'm like, what? How did I do? Doesn't seem like a test, but it is. Where they will be checking to see how you comport yourself. And this doesn't even have to just be about actions. For example, if you see somebody, a request coming in from someone, or a call, what are your thoughts? What does your heart say? Are you like, oh, this person again? Hi, how's it going? Or are you really, really tuned in? Like, oh, okay, great. I have something for this person. Oh, great. Are you thinking about the money? Are you thinking about your name in lights? Are you worrying about what you look like? Are you trying to control the setting? Are you trying to appear a certain way? Are you trying to dress a certain part so people think a certain thing about you? Right? These are things that you have to watch. There's nothing wrong with doing all of these things, but trust me, it's the heart and the motivation. And these are things that I think the karmic board looks at. These are the things, and the feather and the heart and all of this, that's what they're looking at. Sometimes it's not the deed that they're looking at, it's the heart. And that's it. And so one of the main points the guides were saying in January is we need to cultivate the heart. So if you're following this channel, thanks, God bless you, right? If you're following this channel, the task at hand is to cultivate the heart. At the same time, we are cultivating perception right now. True perception, as true as we can get down here. Because guess what? When we start polishing up the heart, getting the heart up and alive, that's the engine that's going to be directing. It's going to be the one that we align to. We're going to unify our chakras in alignment with that heart chakra. But the heart chakra has to hook up to the divine heart first. And so we've been seeing, just like a cute little dog when it trembles or shivers to whatever, blow off dust or water, the heart's doing that. It's been doing that for the past few months to clear off this stuff. Now we're going through the mind, and this year is all about perception, right? And the whole idea is the heart and the mind are trying to link up. True heart, true mind, true perception. Okay? And when you're like zing like that, you are going to be unstoppable, because Spirit will then be like, oh, we've got one. Divine heart, divine mind. We got one. Divine heart, divine mind. All of that comes along with divine will. Those three right there, okay? So this is what we're doing. We're erecting the vessel, energetically structured vessel that is going to be able to house our divinity. But don't mess around, because the divine parts of you, when they're ready to work. They're not here for egoic stuff, okay? And so, yeah, so that's why it's like, hey, can you get rid of that behavior you're doing? I see some programming from your past where it's kind of like you don't like God, or you're mad at God, or whatever. So can you go and learn how you define God, and then try to understand what your angers are, and like, this is what you're doing so that you can make room. It's just making room. That's it, right? Making room. And what else? Yeah, so hooking that up, I feel like there was one more thing that they wanted to talk about. Virtues, vices, clearing out the heart, working on the perceptions. Oh yeah, that's right. And thank you. Because we're living in a world now, and AI is just going at it, right? Which is fine, but we can, if you are not mature, spiritually mature enough for technologies, guns, the printing press. Look what the printing press was used for. Oh my God. Yeah, spreading information, but what was going on? Spreading a lot of lies, spreading all sorts of things, right? But also really helping people, right? The cotton gin, a lot happened with these tech. Nuclear. I can't, yeah. Anyway, when you're not spiritually mature, you will mishandle the gifts that are given to you. You will mishandle the innovations. If you don't know how to take care of your toys, why would mom give you a porcelain doll? And maybe mom did, thinking that we were all good, and then you broke it because you weren't paying attention. Or you washed its hair and didn't, it's not the type you should wash, right? So the heart is going to, as the guides say, be pivotal. Divine heart, divine mind, meaning divine perception, and divine will, the will to serve, capital S, is going to be what helps you to navigate the fake world that we are in, right? So the guides also said it's going to help you to discern the quote unquote, and I quote, heartless ones, okay? Because when you're in your heart, now you could see who's not. Okay, and suddenly I don't want to laugh at that joke, or suddenly I don't want to say that about this person, because I suddenly have empathy that this person is laughing along with the joke at him, but later he's sad and he's been affected by it, and he doesn't feel safe to mention it, right? So these are important qualities and things that the guides say they're looking for. They're saying these are what we're looking for in people. Yeah, it's not about the Pollyannas and the Pollyanna accents and the this and that. We're looking for people who can cultivate a certain lifestyle that we can work with. Because then they say work with, because they literally have to be able to energetically connect with you. If you're vibing low, I mean, it's like, we're trying, right, to work with you, but you're eating too much dairy. Yeah, right. So a lot of us are getting ideas. For some of you, you're getting descriptions of how you can step up and help, of course. Some of you are getting ideas on how you can improve your body, your mindset, your abundance, all sorts of things. And we're all in different stages, but we're all here to learn from each other. No one's better or worse, right? Yeah, they keep saying accents, honing certain accents, right? All right, so anyway, and yes, they're saying there are quite a few of you who are in employ. So don't just think, oh, love and light people are here. There are people doing all sorts of stuff for spirit. But of course, you need to set your sights on being the best you can be, doing your healing work, aligning with something higher than yourself, praying. Prayers are just conversations that you're having with your team. They're watching you watch this, they're watching me make this so that you can later watch it, and they can watch you watch it later, right? So there are all sorts of things you can be doing, and it starts with intention. What's your intention? My intention is to trying to think of what a good one would be just to solidify it, because all you need is a little bit of willingness. And it could just be something as simple as, hey, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't even know if this is for me, if I could be in this group. And if you're watching, then yes, you are. But I am interested and I would love to get started. So yeah. And then keep an eye out for what information is sent your way. Okay. Oh, there's a pull one more card. I'm also conscious of the time. I'm so sorry, guys. But when we work with spirit, we just go with what they ask. Yeah. So, yeah, wisdom. Patience, yes. Interesting. It says fickle right there. Wisdom and patience. That's cute, because today they were like, give yourself your flowers. A lot of you guys have not been looking at what you've accomplished. You've accomplished a lot. You've accomplished so much to get here. Perception. All aboard. Next stop is perception, right? But wisdom, patience. It takes time to build upon your patience. All right? They're telling me to share this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such a private person. You wouldn't tell, but actually I am. I'm sure you know. But okay, they are saying, they're like, just tell the story. All right, so I do a lot of attunements. The guides help me attune a lot, and I do a lot of shadow work and blah, 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 all that stuff. So I'm constantly going through energetic shifts, and I'm always very conscious of songs that are channeled to me at that time, because they carry the energetic codes that I'm working with at the time. And so recently, they have been having me listen to Mariah's, some of her Christmas songs in particular. Not Santa Claus is coming to town, and not those. Yeah, not those, not the best-selling ones. But Joy to the World is one. Oh Holy Night is another. What? And gosh, what was the other one? There's one more. Oh man. Okay. Should I look? Okay. I don't know. If you want to know, leave a comment in the box. If no one leaves a comment, then I will guess it's not necessary. Sorry. But anyway, yeah. And so when I sit and I listen to it, I can feel the energies. And I will say, I asked them, because, we're working on discernment. You know me, guys. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to be out here wasting time, although I've just been wasting time. But I'm like, guys, it hit me one day. I would love to see, what do the angels really look like, And not like, oh, I want to see you project back to me what we think you look like in all these things and what it says here that you look like. I'm not interested in having you come down to me. I would like to come up to you. And then I realized, well, I say I realized, but they probably just told me, Jay, what you talking about, girl? They probably can't really show you what they look like. They probably can. But I would probably be so scared of what I see. And the reason why is not because, wow, the form you took. It's because the light is going to be so bright and so high frequency that it's going to kick up my shadows, and I will probably be crazy, right? So we have to understand we can't run before we walk. Because look at how some of us go nuts around the moon time and the eclipses and the portal days. Like, good Lord, right? What if this major being came and really shined its light on you? As I said that I saw this light here, and then I see this hourglass in front of it. Yeah, patience, right? We can't show you something that is going to be to your detriment. So it's not about, and it's just a great example of, once again, of Spirit saying, in yet another way, it's not that the answer is no. It's just that you will be incapable of receiving it for whatever reason. Your shadows are too too heavy. Because when the light comes in, it casts the longest shadow. And if you have even a little bit of religious programming in you, you will think you're seeing demons when that light hits. And a lot of people go nuts. And they literally go crazy for like 2-3 days when you look in their field. It's like, oh, you're good. You're just getting some light codes coming in. They're really high in vibration. So that's it. And so your stuff is kicking up, and so you're kind of getting confused, and you're seeing your own stuff, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Just take the next 3 days off and just be cool. Drink some water. That's it. It's simple, 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 simple. And so we want things, but Spirit is saying, understand that things are all in good time. All in good time. And they're saying the first thing that we need to do is this. Oh yeah, see, why are we even trying to shuffle? Get illuminated in the perceptions you hold. The clearer you get about your biases, which are merely just your own beliefs being shot out of your chakras and being reabsorbed back up, your projections, right? So you think you're seeing that outside. It's totally not. It's your stuff. So if you own your stuff, then when we send you energies, you won't get confused. Okay? Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for staying this long. If you're here this long, God bless you. And if you didn't stay this long, you're still blessed. All of your buttons are blessed. If you'd like to work with me personally, please, you know exactly where to find me. And let's go forth for the month of March and be grounded, do your best, but understand that it's a time for observation, okay? All right? And try to see the innocence in others, because you are, literally projecting. So, all right? God bless you, and bye.